Um, uh, Feel free to say hello to anybody we're letting in here.
Hello, everybody. We'll get started just in a moment.
All right, looks like we're live.
We're live. And did you allow me to record it?
Yep.
Here we go. All right. Hello, everybody.
Perfect.
How you doing? My name is Robert Hollis. On Saturdays we do Ask Me Anything. Today, Craig is actually doing a charity walk for suicide prevention, and so he's had a really good friend years ago that unfortunately had his son take his life, and so he does that every year, and I'm blessed to be a part of that and support him on that. I just love it. And of course, we have our man, the genius behind the scenes, Matthew. He'll be watching everything going on. And I just love and appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully we're streaming this on YouTube, and if we're not, we got it recorded and we'll
Nope, we're
go up
streaming.
there. So
Everything's good. So,
right. So Matt can go back and forth if anyone has any questions and you don't want to raise your hand. You can raise your hand two ways. If your camera's on, like mine is, just raise your hand. But
well, yeah.
down below, you'll see a thing called reactions. And what you can actually do is click on that and raise your hand, and we'll get to you and answer your question. And those of you that are on YouTube, you'll see a link in YouTube. I don't know if Matt posted this yet, but you
Yep.
can actually come on live. Matt's on the game, man. He's got it down. We miss Craig, but hey, we're here. Welcome back, Lisa Marie. So yeah, I only have like one really good opening deal, and then we'll go into Q&A. Recently, I've been spending time. I love spending time with my inner circle. You guys raise your hands. I love and appreciate you guys so much. And on the inner circle, we've been covering, stuff that's still, how to become an imaginator, how to imagine, and how to really make that work for you. And it's just amazing how amazing if you really get your imagination. I had someone post on one of the videos. He goes, "Yeah." He says, "I used to imagine when I was in high school." And I thought, why would you just say to people, "Hey, I don't imagine anymore." Maybe that's pretty interesting. There's a time to imagine, and then there's a time to grow up and be miserable. So, go back to imagination. And so I wanted to talk just for a brief second. I shared with Jamie, shared with me is, here's a guy that his ultimate deal was he not only created drums music for 20 songs that him and his band has, but they actually did everything in front of the 1,400 fans. But I got him to dream, and I said, "Listen, do you remember? Did you ever play air drums?" And he goes, "All day long." And then I said, "What was the next step?" He said, "When mom wasn't home, my father would pull out all kinds of pots and kettles, and I would play on the pots and kettles." And then eventually, apparently, his dad's dream came true as well, because then his band was practicing at his house. So then he asked the drummer if he could practice on his drums when he wasn't there. And the guy said, "Yeah." So there's a lot of stuff that we all have an imagination to. And the more we imagine, the more our life goes. There was a guy that I heard this morning that said something really powerful. He goes, when you imagine in a positive way in the future, isn't it interesting that you get a couple of images and then you focus on just that one scene, over and over again. And he says, when you think positive thoughts, why does your mind go to multiple and endless scenes? Because when you're worrying, which is imagination in a negative way, you have one thought and if that happens, then this happens, and if that happens, then this happens. But when you try to imagine in a positive sense, it's usually just one scene. And the guy was saying, maybe you just get one scene because that's the one you should do first. And then you get another scene. And then you get another scene. Does that make sense? Oh, snap. So anyway, it's like, so anyway, that was just the opening statement. And what we'll do is go ahead and open it up for any questions. So if you guys know,
Yeah.
you guys can ask me any questions at any time. So I'm going to turn it over to the hostess with the mostest, and this time, and that's my son Matthew Hollis.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad. Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody for being on here. I'm admitting people as quickly as I can. There's a bunch of people joining and stuff. If you want to join us, simply go to the chat on YouTube, and there should be a link to join on Zoom if you want to hop on. Once you're on here, if you have a question for Robert that you want to ask, go ahead and just raise your hand to do that. You'll use the bottom bar there to click on reactions and then raise your hand. If you don't want to ask your question audio wise or on camera, you can type it either in chat here on Zoom, or you can type it in chat on YouTube. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pass that on to Robert here. So with that said, I'm already seeing some hands go up. Sarah was the first one. Sarah, are you with us? I'm going to ask you to unmute here.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
Sarah, how's
Sarah.
it
How are
going?
you?
Good. How are you all?
I am blessed and highly favored and deeply loved.
Yes, you are. First of all, I want to say happy belated birthday. I celebrate my
Thank you.
birthday February the 7th
Happy
and
birthday
took a trip
belated to you.
to Dubai for that. But I wanted to say, Robert, that I mean, when you started on this imagination, being imaginist, that just hit a chord with me because I know, just like the message, the comment that we just heard of the guy who said he used to imagine when he was in school, I
Yeah.
did also. I mean, my summers were about getting the neighborhood children together, and me and a couple other girls would put on our mother's dresses and beads and high heels and just perform. And since
Yes.
that time, that's what I've been doing as an adult. So imagination, like you said, it's key. It is everything. So I am very excited about this new chapter that we are on this wonderful, wonderful journey about imagining. And I hope that I can be a part of the imagination group that
You
you're
are.
setting up.
You definitely are. We're putting it together, and it's and people, I just want to tell you, I'm just so proud of you, Sarah. I'm just very, very proud of you. We definitely know it. Everybody wants to know how to do something, but when you activate your imaginator skill and become an imaginator, the how comes to you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Did you have a direct question or just a comment today?
Just a comment. The other thing is I want to know somehow or another, I'm not getting the breakthroughs anymore. Are we still doing those? I know some of the days switched up.
Yeah, we just did one Thursday night, and we do them every Thursday night. And so if you're not getting an email, maybe I don't even know how I've never ever joined myself.
I mean,
No,
I've been a member since the beginning, since the first day that you started this, but somehow or another, I'm just not connecting with the breakthroughs, just the AMAs.
Are you,
So I'll
okay.
Sarah?
wait till
Sarah, are you on Telegram?
no.
Okay, because we also have a Telegram group that we post in all the time as well.
Okay, I'll get on to
So
that.
yeah, so Sarah, if you wanted to, why don't you send me an email at robert@roberthollis.com.
Mm-hmm.
And when Craig is around, we'll see if he can't check it out, or Matt, and we'll check it out and see where you are and what's happening.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
I apologize for it not working.
Oh, thank you. Could be me. I have some technical, I don't like to admit that, but
You're getting
technical,
better and better in every way, Sarah.
I am.
Absolutely. Well,
Love and appreciate you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Have a
thank
good
you,
week.
Sarah. Appreciate you. Next up, we have Bill Shoemaker. Bill, are you with us?
I am with you, Matthew. Thank you,
Hello,
Matthew.
hello.
The incredible Matthew Hollis, film director,
Thanks.
filmmaker, movie producer. Mr. Matthew Hollis. I had to do that.
Woo. Thanks. Appreciate it.
So I've got a stand-up desk now, Robert. I'm standing up.
Wow.
And I like it. You know, I figured I worked in the retail industry for 33 years and I never sat down once. So why am I sitting down now? So anyway.
Well,
So
it sure is nice to have a number of options every day. That's cool.
yeah, a little variety. It's good for the bod.
How are you today?
What's that?
How are you today?
I am incredible, highly favored and deeply loved and all the good stuff.
You are.
So I just wanted to hammer something into my little head here about what you said on our last, I think it was the inner circle, is that in our business, your avatar, it really rung a bell with me, your avatar is different from mine.
Yes.
And that really rung a bell. It's like, okay, I'm looking at the wrong way. Now, I know you've said this a million times before, but you know how you read a book and you never see something, and all of a sudden you go, well, I didn't see that before. Well, it's the same with you. When you say things, you know, they don't all stick, but eventually they do. So what you're saying is the people that we really want aren't on Facebook, but the people that are on Facebook know the people that we want.
We have a winner.
Ding, ding, ding. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah. So the deal is to, not only say something nice to connect with them, but give them the gift. And then as you do that and you go back and forth, that's when you can say, well, listen, I'd love to get to know you better. Let's jump on a Zoom or some other visual method. And that's when you become an imaginator and get their imagination out of them, and then basically share with them that, oh, now that you did this and you use the money for that, and when you use the money for that, then it's going to make you feel this way. And then when you do that, you get the person caught up in their own imagination, and that's when you can say, well, I want to help you get there. And how we can do that is, let's think about the very best people that you know. And then you do that thing, Bill, where I explain, the kind of person. And the reason I do that, I've never said this word ever. It basically gets them caught up in an imagination of having some of the best people that they know actually earn income while they're earning income. So when you give people possibilities, that's when their mind really blows up. Like the neat thing that I love to say to people is all the time as I go, so just think about this. Matthew and I were building my brand, roberthollis.com, which, by the way, you can go there at roberthollis.com/free and get a digital copy of my book. And one of the things that when we were building the brand, then all of a sudden, it's like if one of you would have reached out to my wife during that time and said, hey, you should look at this. Give her a gift and look at this. Then maybe my wife would be enrolled by you or sponsored by you. And if you're in the same company as we are in now, you would get 30% of my wife's residual check. Is that amazing? Just think.
I know.
Yeah. And so the question I have for all of you is, this might be a better way of saying this, Bill, is for all the people out there that are flat out, have the work ethic, they imaginate all day, every day. They're constantly doing better, making themselves better and better every day. What if you could find someone that knew the spouse of that person? because my wife didn't pitch me on MDC. She asked me to help her with her business. Did you guys catch that? And so to see my wife walk on stage and get this plaque, 7 figures, it was one of the best moments of my life. It really, truly was. And so it's, yeah, so that's right, Bill. You got it, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, brother. I love you.
Love you too. Really appreciate you, Bill.
Thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate you. You always got great questions and got great stuff to share. So appreciate it. Next up, for as far as hands up goes, it looks like we got Coach Bob. Coach Bob, are you with us?
Yeah, hi. Good morning. Good afternoon, Matt.
Good
Robert.
everything, Coach Bob.
Good everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
love and appreciate you guys. A couple questions.
Love and
God,
appreciate you.
I love the Thursday meetings. We were talking about rabbit holes, and I was focusing on such wrong stuff, Robert. I went back after the meeting and I was thinking about this, and I thought, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I try to do all these things because I have all these ideas in my head. And I just got to narrow it down and
Right.
do things. I mean, and I get, your trainings. I have to focus on what I do best and then just focus on that and do that.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
Here's something that's very interesting. Imagine back when Coach Bob had a job, right? That's all he knew. That's all he knew was a job. Isn't it amazing that imagination that, let's say that you and your wife sat down and said, you know what, it's time to get a home. And so let's make some extra money, slim our budget down so we can get the down payment. You follow me so far?
Sure.
And so for you to make more money, there's really only 2 options. You go to your boss and you say to your boss, listen, I'll take all the overtime that you have. I'll even do double shifts. And if that's not an option, it's usually a part-time job. Because if you only know that's the way to make money, that's the only way to make money. And if you add this much entrepreneurial spirit, you might think, I'm going to clean out the garage. I'm going to clean out the whole entire house. I'm going to do a garage sale. That's entrepreneur. Maybe today I could sell some of the stuff on Marketplace or something else. And you would think of ways that you could put a hunk of money together. Now, when I run into people that are just amazing affiliate marketers like you, when I run into people that are just amazing affiliate marketers like you, Bob, the one thing that I say to them is I go, okay, if you knew a way to generate more money. You see what I'm saying?
I know where you're going.
Okay. So now the main priority is what they're doing. But what if they just spent, instead of distracted hours, is just number one focus? I need to find people that want to make 6 figures plus.
Right.
And I need to find those people and connect them to Robert. So all your imagination is not constantly being in the hamster wheel, plus being distracted, plus trying to take care of family, plus trying to take care of Coach Bob, right?
Right.
So you're doing this, but it always seems, and we all know this is a lie, because I'll explain it, is we go, well, I can't just slow down in the cage and focus on learning a new way to do this business. The reason why is because you haven't used your imagination to look at my lifestyle,
right,
and the earnings that I'm earning. And then the most important one, the impact on all the people that I'm helping. So see, that's when you really will go, okay, if I'm going to dedicate a full-time hours to what I'm doing so I can continue to pay bills, I don't want my income to drop. But then the extra time that I'm spending not doing the things that are just distractions, let me focus on just getting a little bit better at this. And And then that's what you start doing. You go, no, so now your imagination is, wow, what if Robert's really telling the truth? And that I do this, and as soon as I do it, it goes click, click, and I immediately have a person on my left and my right that want to make 6 figures a year. Just
Yeah.
bing, and it would totally replace the money that you're already making. So now you get to decide.
Right.
Because yeah, it is just, time is just so valuable.
Right.
Time is just so valuable. And there's things that I consistently, will write down. Every once in a while, I'll do that same thing mentally that my mentor taught me 37 years ago. And that's actually, don't lie to myself, and just write down in a journal a full 24 hours of what I did. And then you go, I gotta stop doing that. That's like so stupid. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's only 2 reasons to do things, right? One way is to make an impact in other people's lives, which I know will get rewarded. That's not my law. That's a bigger law. And then, the other part is, not to forget that you want to do things that take your breath away, that you want to do experiences with you and your family, right? And so when I tell people, they always go, well, that's going to take forever and it's difficult for me to learn. And, it's just not me, to be honest, Robert. I don't like people, you know what I mean? And I don't want to babysit them. I don't want to talk to them. Well, then you didn't hear the way I told you to do the business. Because I'm not asking you to talk to anybody. I'm talking to you, sharing with you how to find those individuals, right?
Right.
And so it's really, really interesting, because if overnight you had a job and you worked at Toys R Us, and you pull into the parking lot and the doors are changed, I bet you can find a job and change even your occupation pretty damn fast. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so when we do that to ourselves, it's like, I always tell people, they go, it's so hard to change. And I said, so your company that you're working for calls you into the office and said, unfortunately, we're shutting this office down, but we value you so much as an employee that we're moving to Austin, Texas. And we'll pay for your moving expenses, and we'll even give you a raise if you'll go to Texas with us. 2 ways to handle that, isn't it? I
Right.
quit. No, you're going to lay me off so I can get unemployment. And the next one is look for another job. Or you're coming home and you're telling your family, man, do I got exciting news. I got a raise today. I got a raise today, and we're going to do a lot of other things. And I'm so excited to live in a new city. Yeah, hope you're coming along.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you always for bringing that up. And you got any other questions, Bob?
Yeah. Oh yeah. One more for Matt. Is Matt? I
Yep,
was just
I'm
I was
here.
just wondering how Matt's doing on his project. And then we missed you. We missed you Thursday, buddy. We always miss
Hey,
you.
I was doing a podcast with Corky, and then Corky and his crew, and then I had to run and go see Dune. I had bought tickets for Dune Part
Right.
2
Good
like way
days.
ahead of time. So so yeah, no, I mean, as far as updates with what I'm doing, let me highlight myself here. How do I do that? Add spotlight. Okay. There we go.
Oh,
Now, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. It's funny because the moment I want to try to share my screen is the moment that it's gonna go awry.
God, I
So
think this is so cool.
so can you guys see? I mean, to a certain extent, I'll have to remove the spotlight there. But no, I've been working on a couple of things as far as AI and short films go. The one that I'm working on right now is The Farmer. So this is completely animated. This will be a animated short that will go up for Unlimited Wisdom. There's a couple of scenes here I could show you guys because people have just been curious how this is going. I have a bunch in here. So it's kind of interesting because to a certain extent, it's hard to show this stuff off because it's like just in such a raw space. But believe it or not, everything that you guys are seeing right now is all AI generated. None of these clips or none of these things are animated by me. It's all AI generated from my computer. So yeah, I've been working on a script and we've been working on shorts for a while. The first one that's coming out will be The Farmer. Right now we're shooting for just like sometime in spring. There's this big AI film competition that's happening that I'm hoping I can enter this into in March 17th is the last day. So I'm kind of like just churning through it as quickly as I can and stuff to get it into a place that I feel really good about. But there's so many different shots and things in here. And if you guys know anything about the parable of the sower, that's what this is based off of. So, planting seeds, growing a farm, growing as a person, facing trials and tribulations through that. And so, yeah, this is the stuff as far as that goes, since you were asking.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
it? It's crazy,
go ahead.
man.
No, so did this when you wrote the script or put it in there, what you wanted, did that come out the way you thought about it in your brain or in your head?
My new way of doing this is kind of really interesting because coming from a film place, I'm always like, okay, you write the script, right? You get the script down, the story the way that you want it. And then you refine it, you do different drafts, and then you finally get to a place where you can kind of like pitch it or pre-visualize it and share it with people and go, I need money to finish this, right?
Sure.
With the way that AI is going, that's all out the window now. So believe it or not, like I wake up in the morning and I have a spot specifically in my house that has no distractions just so I can write. I no longer write long term as much. Now what I do is I sit down, I write the scene or scenes that I want to work on that day. Then I bring those in here and I ask ChatGPT based off of the script that I've written what good prompts would be for things like Midjourney or Dolly if you're going to use that inside of ChatGPT. And I just get those scenes from there. And then from there, you can bring those into any image to video processor you want. So I've shared a few. There's stablevideo.com, there's runwayml.com, there's pika.art. And all of these could take an image like you just saw and start animating it. So from there, you're animating it, and then you're taking it from there right into Premiere and kind of editing it together. So that's like my current path that I'm going through. Obviously, that's going to change a lot. I was sharing this on Corky's podcast, right? Which is coming out soon. Let me share my screen again here. There is a new kid on the block, a couple of new ones, but this is LTX Studio, LTX.studio. Believe it or not, this is a tool developed by the exact same people that make the most popular face cleanup app. I forget what it's called, but you guys would know if you use it. Right? So this is LTX Studio. So this is like I describe that whole process that I go through where I will get the pictures and the way that I do it. Is I use my computer, but this requires like a really strong computer to use. You could use Midjourney or some of these other tools, but this one is going to be a one-stop for all of those things, right? So frame control, AI storytelling. So believe it or not, when you scroll down here, I've already gotten to play around with this a little bit. Facetune was the other tool, but if I can find their video here, give me a minute here. LTX. You guys probably won't be able to hear this, but you'll be able to see it. So yeah, you can see through this video example how they're going through and they're setting up a whole shot list. They're changing it. Now from sci-fi, it's a New York City courtroom. It's generating all of these scenes, believe it or not. It does the audio and stuff. You can add voices in there. You can do all of this stuff. You want to change the car to red. Now it's red instead of green. You want to change it from a man to a woman in the scene. You can do that. You could storyboard the whole entire thing. each one of these things are individually done, but the really cool thing is not only can you change the lighting, but it's got consistent characters. So you actually make a cast, and in every single one of these scenes, it keeps the characters consistent. You can change camera angles, the styling of the way that you want to do it. It's even got editing tools in it. All of this stuff is by Lightricks, who did Facetune, which is the most popular, by far the most popular thing out there as far as like face app swap, or cleaning up your face and stuff on phones. So yeah, LTX Studio is coming out in March. You can join the wait list right now. I'll type the link into chat there for anybody that wants to go sign up for the wait list. Don't really know how much this tool is going to cost, nor how difficult it's actually going to be to use, but man, am I going to shoot some tutorials and share with you guys how to use this tool, because I truly have been waiting, and I've heard Runway is doing something similar to this, but I am truly waiting for the moment where I can get on and have like a step one to step done process that we all can use to tell the stories that have been in our minds, and share the stories that have been in our hearts, and have kind of always been something we've wanted to make. So I'm excited because this is a large part of what we want to do in the Imaginators too, believe it or not, as these tools come out. My goal is to get on weekly with you guys and help you use these tools to get the stories together that you want to tell, whether you want to share them on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that. Our goal is to kind of, with my father here, Robert Hollis, is to help you guys pinpoint what you want to do. And my goal, and Craig, he's not currently here, is to point you guys in the right direction to get those tools together, whether it's AI or outside of those things, to get those ideas off the ground and to share them with people and to inspire people. Because that's really our goal, is to make the largest impact we can, but it's really like to make an impact on you as well, right? Like for you to live the life you want to live, because as AI starts to like take over all these different industries and different things, will open up a lot of space for us to be creative and share ourselves. And I think that these platforms will give us the opportunity to do that. And building this community of people will also give us a platform to support each other, right? So instead of you creating a short or creating a film or something and uploading it on YouTube and it going kind of nowhere because you don't know how to market it, you'll be sharing it in a community now that will immediately support you and help share it and get it out there. And so I appreciate you guys letting me share some of this stuff, as always. But with that said, we're going to get right back into the AMA here. Santa Corky, you have your hand up. You are next in line, so I'm going to ask you to unmute. Thanks, Coach Bob, again for asking as well.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, did you have any questions, Coach
No,
Bob, that you
no,
wanted to
just
share?
thanks so much, Matt. Love seeing you all, and appreciate you sharing it with us. And we did miss you Thursday. And thanks again, Robert and Matt. And
You got.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Bob.
Yeah, my son, whenever you show those things, it just melts my heart, overfills my heart. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys know anything about my story, like for the longest time, I've wanted to work in animation and work in filmmaking and stuff. And one of the biggest problems with doing that is like having the hardware and the rendering time and how long it takes a solo person or even a couple of people to make an animated short film. It takes months, it takes years, it takes so much work to pull off. And now with these AI tools, I have the ability to work with some great artists and other great people to make the stories that I've always wanted to tell, and then also support others in telling the stories they want to tell. So these technologies are not just about animation. You can do, actual feature films or other things that you'd like as well with them. So that's really cool. So thanks for letting me share once again. Corky, I'm going to ask you to unmute. I'm going to throw you up here in the spotlight. How's it going?
Good. Yeah, you can hear me okay.
I can hear you.
Hi, Robert.
Yeah, how you doing, Corky?
Fabulous. On fire. I'm on fire. Is my hair burning?
Yeah.
Excited. And Matthew, thank you so much. Man, you just keep going up another level that I go, wow, what can this guy do? And as a father of sons that are the same age and older, and when they do those kinds of accomplishments, I get it. It's just so fun to watch your children just excel and go and things like that. So Matthew, thank you for and Robert, thank you for doing our podcast. Michael is in here, Elf Michael, we call him. is in here. He's my Craig, is the best way I could do it.
Yeah.
And he will be able to tell you better when it's going to come out, because we kind of stacked up a few when I had shoulder surgery. But I kind of want him to get out soon, because I want to promote unlimited wisdom as much and as hard as I can. And I want to push it really hard. And I want to talk to you about an experience I had last night.
Please.
Go ahead.
Please.
Oh, there's just so much I want to share, because there's just so many things happening and going, and it's just unbelievable. It's hard to explain. It's hard
Isn't
to
it?
explain when everything comes together. I met a young lady last night that there was no rhyme nor reason for me to have come across her path. And she's in here today.
Awesome.
I'm usually off my lives by 7:30, 8 o'clock. Every now and then I'll go 8:30, 9 o'clock, but never am I there at 10:30. Ever. Never have been on that late. But, you know, with my prayer, my meditation things, God spread, you know, broaden my horizons. Father, help me to serve the most I can serve. Give me that heart every day. Send them. And I was going through lives on TikTok, just seeing who's talking, what's going on, and just kind of get a pulse of things. And I came across Stephanie. Stephanie's in here too. And
Hey, Stephanie.
yeah. And there's another Stephanie in here. So I hope that she has the courage to talk. I hope she has the courage to ask you a question or just say hi. She has the most angelic voice and the most beautiful voice that I've ever heard. And her family has been in the music industry. And she's had some of the biggest challenges that a mother could go through. And she got to talking, and we both cried. We had people in the live crying, and it was just a wonderful thing. And so I was able to share Robert with her and our group here. And I say that because I am really enjoying the diversity coming in here. I'm really enjoying that diversity. And I guess, and there's a few other new people in here too. Robert, what do we do here? Can you explain for me what we do here at Unlimited Wisdom?
Yeah, the whole concept is me learning from some very, 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 very successful people, and they were able to give me the wisdom and explain to me, you know, how to incorporate my imagination and basically create, honestly, just unlimited wealth and show other people how to do that. So that's what I've been doing, you know, for 37 years. So one of the things that Unlimited Wisdom is going to do is, first of all, tell people that, listen, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And because it's not your fault, you need to stop beating yourself up. Because, you know, not giving anything like an excuse to anybody, but your parents, whoever raised you, your grandparents, they didn't get an owner's manual. And that isn't giving them an excuse. And so some people make stupid decisions, but bottom line, now you're on your own. You're a mother, and where's the owner's manual? It's like, and so thank God, I mean this, that I met people that would get me to stop listening to all the awful voices in my head. This is Dino. And so, you know, Dino constantly beating me up, telling me I'm not enough, I'm not smart enough. I was dyslexic in school, and I was taken away from my parents. So, you know, I had lists and lists and lists of excuses. And then on top of that, just beating myself up. So I had pretty much just didn't know where I was going to go. And so thank God I met somebody. And when I met them, all of a sudden now you got this whole situation where you're now you start to imagine again, and you start to, the light at the end of the tunnel is no longer a train.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden you just get this light and you start imagining, and then once you imagine like children do, it's bizarre, like almost a miracle, how doors will start opening up for you. And the next thing you know, you're through them. And it's like one of the things that my wife and I always love watching is Shark Tank, because isn't it funny? Like Bob said, it's just like, and Corky, it's like the diversity of the people that you see on Shark Tank is just, it just fascinates me. And you have it from children to, people in their 90s. It's just like, every male, female, everything in between. And it's just amazing that these people first had an idea. They started imagining on that idea. And the next thing you know, and the ones that are my favorite, which probably are your guys' favorite, was when Mr. Wonderful, is like Simon Cowell, he's the guy that's got to jump all over somebody. And he turns around and he says, well, Stephanie, we heard your story, but, bottom line, what are you doing for sales? Well, I've been in business for 3 years. I did 3 million my first year. We did 30 million our second year, and this year we'll do just almost 100 million. And it's just like you karate chop everyone. And it's like, with what I know how to do, Corky, which I think is so amazing, I always laugh with my wife when I watch Shark Tank. Because can you guys imagine? See, there's the word. Can you imagine if I really wanted a shark to help me with unlimited wisdom? And I stood up there in front of them and said, Unlimited Wisdom is going to be a nonprofit teaching people, what I've done in my lifetime. And they're going like, can you share the numbers with us? And I'd say, well, I had an organization of 758,000 people that acquired 2.6 million customers that were getting paid on monthly. And we're just doing, let me see, about 170 million a month. So we ended up doing just over, a little over $1.5 billion in volume. And on the side, I wrote some books and helped 67 other people create companies that did millions of dollars, and one of them that did billions. And yeah. So that's the stuff I want to teach other people on how to have freedom and generate revenue and make their dreams come true. So that's what Unlimited Wisdom's all about. Thank you, Corky.
Thank you. Awesome. I think that's all I had, other than I have some people texting me saying, I'm at the soccer game. I'm sorry I can't be on the Zoom, but they are watching. So I just wanted to say hi and thank you.
You could send them the all those that were texting, and also the people that jumped on here that know Corky Santa. I think he's probably told you this already, but it was, God reconnecting us again. And when he did, Corky was juggling a bunch of balls, and I just reached through the screen and slapped some of the balls out of his hand. And
you did.
And now he's impacting many, many people, plus earning the income he can to help other people out. I'm just so proud to be his friend, and I just love you, Corky.
I love you too, Robert. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Corky.
You
Appreciate you. I'm excited to see the podcast episodes. I can't wait.
Yeah, me
from
too.
You guys. So I'm excited for that. We'll definitely be promoting and sharing them with you guys once Corky and his team got those posted. But me and my dad both separately did podcasts with them, and it was a lot of fun. I had a blast meeting everybody and stuff. So excited to see those. So thanks again, Corky.
Thank you for taking your time, Stephanie, to come on here. I'm looking forward to helping you in any way I can. And of course, I got to meet Michael the other day. So Michael, thank you for being on here as well. Anybody else that is a part of Santa Corky's audience, we love and appreciate you. We're here to help us all win.
Thank you.
Thank you
bet.
so much, Corky.
God bless.
Next in line is Jody. Jody, I'm going to ask you to unmute. How's it going, Jody? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to everybody. It's another beautiful day in paradise. How is it all going?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A
Yeah.
beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect. How are you today?
Blessed and highly favored. And also, I've been having this inner struggle going on for probably close to 10 days.
Okay.
And okay, so Abraham, Esther Hicks, daydream, imagine, you don't have to force anything, let it flow, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so I am now in, hold on, week 33 of this. Okay. The scroll marked 8. Robert, do you every single day write a goal?
Nope.
Every day, every week, every month, for the year, for your life?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm really struggling with scroll marked 8 because that's what the whole damn thing is all about. You got to have a goal for today, tomorrow, the week. Go.
Okay, so if Og Mandino wrote that book back whenever, I don't, you can look at the beginning and see that. I know you're looking where it is. What's the date?
1972.
Okay, so what do you know of that's not like 1972?
I was 51 years younger.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me share with you, when you're reading something, again, being the part of being plugged in, the part of being connected. When I listen to somebody, just like when I talk to somebody, I want to be present. I want to be plugged in.
Mhm.
And I always say, allow the things that the author was trying to share with me to penetrate, get into me, so then I can, two or more together, the author's there and I'm there.
Mhm.
Then the imaginator, the master imaginator, the master imaginator, whatever that word is for you, usually takes their idea and takes it to another level for me.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's just how I read stuff. So that's why they say a lot of books are living, because they're living. You read them and you didn't get it, and then you read it and you got it. You know,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah. And so let me.
I read 14 times.
Yeah.
And every time I get different aha moments.
Right.
This
And
speaks
I even watch, like, a couple times a year, I'll re-listen to Jim Rohn audios, and I'm still picking up stuff. Still.
Right.
And it's because if you're working on yourself, you're a different person.
Yeah, evolving,
Right.
growing.
And
Yeah.
so when you're growing, then you read that. So you got to trust that same instinct when you're plugged in, is when you hear something or like, say someone's speaking or someone's doing a quote. Like there's quotes that I posted 5 years ago, 10 years ago. When I read the post, I'm going, I know exactly where my mind was and how limited it was.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah, when memories on Facebook pop up.
Yeah.
Like I had one today from 4 years ago, and I went, whoa.
Yeah. Wow. We've
me.
never talked about that. You want to see if you're growing constantly every day, click on your memories and go back all the way to the last one and see what you posted, where your mindset was. And I see people on Facebook doing this all the time, where you can tell that somebody or more than one person really, really hurt them.
Mm.
Because every post is on how awful people are.
Yes. Right.
Have you guys noticed that? It is like, I got a couple of these people. It's like, hey, don't trust people and don't do this and don't do this. And I'm going like, wow, man, I remember being there. So one of the things that my last book, I read up on this, and I'm I'm obsessed in a good way with learning. And now with them doing all this mind mapping and watching now how you can change your mind.
Oh,
You
yeah, sure.
used to have these people that go, well, I'm a Pisces and I'm a sequential concrete thinker, you know what I mean? And I'm an introvert. And, just every negative label they can think about putting onto themselves, right? I am who I am. And now they're showing that you can totally change your personality.
Yeah, you can remap your whole brain neurologically.
Right. So now with that out there, right? There's a new concept out there where, man, were we so far off with the word goals? Because again, everyone will have just a slightly different definition to goal, right? And here's what's weird about the mind. Whether you're negative or not, your mind's pretty optimistic. And
The
this is
mind,
what it means.
yes.
It will usually give you unrealistic expectations. All right. So let me just share, we're all adults here, so let me just share one thing. So, Jody and I start building a relationship. So we decide to go out on a date. We both have imaginations, and I think we'll both be let down.
You're good.
But that's just what we do.
Yeah.
Wow, well, this could happen, and maybe this could happen, and maybe this could happen, And so, Jody asked me, well, listen, Robert, I really need to know what your W-2 or 1099 was last year. Jody, I haven't gotten one in years, like at least 10 years. And you're going, great. I'm dating an unemployed person. And so I hope that makes sense. So I'll just tell you my best updated is now they're saying, like the 6-phase meditation, that you should have experiences that you can emotionally put yourself into and put up 3 years from now. Now, you'll always get them faster than that. What you think about the most is what you become. And what people are started noticing about goals is even, New Year's, they come out every year and they say the same stuff.
Right, the resolutions.
Take super short-term goals, then medium short-term goals, and then long-term goals. Well, we as human beings will grossly exaggerate our short-term goals. And so you go, I've always wanted to paint a house. I bet you I could do that in a day. Yeah. And so they notice that people that set goals don't hit their goals. Have you guys heard this? That people stop doing New Year's resolutions because they're usually done by mid-January.
Exactly. Exactly.
So people are like, I did that for a while. I'm not doing it anymore. Because we grossly over-exaggerate what we can do with short-term goals. So now if your mind sees you set a goal, don't make it. 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 That's also called hardwiring and programming.
Yeah.
So now
It
it's
keeps
like,
repeating itself.
now we become master procrastinators.
Mhm.
And it's like we always can put something off. And we always seem to do it because it's easier to do, not to do, than do. And so what the normal stuff is now is, again, using your imagination and just setting the experiences, setting emotional experiences of things that you want to experience. And once they're out there, then you allow them to happen, and just consistently, as much as you can, keep imagining.
Right.
And whoop.
See, that whole saying feels so much better to me. Like right now, I'm so much calmer lacking that struggle that I was having, because that's what fits me,
Yep.
is daydreaming, imaginating, you know.
Yeah. So just what you just said, when I first sat down on my first goal setting thing, and they said, well, first of all, you need 3x5 index cards, and you should write it in blue ink, and you should write it in present tense.
Correct.
All right. And you're supposed to look at these blue cards every day. And man, if I wasn't in the event, I know I wouldn't have wrote those cards. And then I stuck them in my binder and haven't looked at them since I created them. Where the imagination for me kicks in, someone sent me this, Jody, is they said the first time that I ever heard from you, you told me that I needed, because this is one of the things I tell people to do, is go get this book, read it, and call me back. And that's when they sort themselves. If they get past that, I tell them that I need them to verbally or video or write down on a piece of paper that they can read, because I'm not going to read it. But write down their perfect day.
Uh-huh.
And the person said, when I started writing down my perfect day, the first 2 lines were pretty easy. Then I had to activate this thing you told me about.
Mm.
See what I mean? So people are
Yeah.
like, oh, I'd like a new car. What kind of car? What color? What options? What payment? See what I mean? It's like all of a sudden, like, hang on. And it's like, so when you're imagining your perfect day, it's like that, tap into the senses.
Yes, for sure.
How did you wake up? Maybe you're the person that likes your grandkids or your kids jumping on the bed, or maybe a pet jumping on the bed. Luna. Yeah, time for bathroom, mom.
All 104 pounds of her.
Yeah. And so, so now what you're doing is you're like, okay, I woke up this way. Who's there? What's happening? And just keep elaborating. One time I thought I was laying in bed when what woke me up is just a bunch of kids laughing and playing.
Oh, wow.
And I got up and walked out on my deck on the not the master, primary room. and walk out there and look down and see my kids and my grandkids playing in the pool.
Oh, music.
Yeah.
Music.
And I've already experienced that. And even have it on video, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
So while I'm looking down at them playing in the pool and the dogs jumping in the pool, I just lift my head just a little bit and I can see Newport Beach and all the sailboats in there.
Wow.
The beach, they're just, man, this is nice.
Oh, man.
Smell the
Okay. This is
coffee,
much better.
smell the birds of paradise,
Uh-huh.
feel the warm breeze.
Life is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So do that. Do that. So now
Thank you.
you're no longer struggling, you're thriving.
Yes.
Hercules.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Robert and
Yeah.
Matthew.
Thank you. Now
Thank you, Jody.
You guys are gonna crack up here because my UFC fights start in 1 minute and there's no hands raised.
I knew you were going to say something about that, but thank you guys so much for being on here. Yep, we're out of hands raised. Once again, we do these once a week, you guys. Every Saturday, we try to be on here and do an AMA. So, hop on, ask us some questions, things like that over the next couple of weeks, couple of months. We're always here to serve you guys and help. So, with that said, you can find our podcast episode goes up tomorrow, Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. every single week we do a couple of different things. We got a few new things coming out as well, so that'll be exciting. I'm trying to both talk and put myself on the screen at the same time. So hold on one second here. There we go. So yeah, so we have a bunch of stuff coming up, exciting stuff happening all the time. Like I said, the podcast episode is coming out tomorrow at 1 p.m. We try to do the podcast once a week. That comes out every Sunday. And we have a few other things coming out. We have our Imaginator calls, which we're looking to do probably on Fridays, we're thinking. We've moved the podcast from coming out Friday to Sunday because we just feel like it gives people more time to, you know, relax, like watch it. Because we tend to make those like 2.5, 3 hours. And we have an exciting one coming out for you guys tomorrow, all about imagination and how to take your imagination and bring that into reality. So very exciting stuff. Love and appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being on here and asking your questions. I'm sure we'll have Craig back next week to host, but thank you guys for being patient with me hosting today. Love you as always and see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to ask everyone to unmute if you guys want to say goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Robert.
guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Imagine, go imagine, go imagine, go imagine, go imagine.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
Santa
Corky,
thank you
so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Bye,
Thank you,
Robert.
everybody.
Yes.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, thank you. It was very informative. And before I jump off, I just want to say it's living in a world, what I like to say, called dead people. You know, a lot of people think that because I cry or because I wear my heart on my sleeve, because I am emotional, that I'm overdramatic. And I say that people that are dreamers, that live in the clouds,
Yes.
they are the lifeblood. We are the ones that are creating worlds where people can find happiness.
Amen.
We're not just roaming amongst the dead. And so I had no idea that this existed. And to be told that I'm a dreamer and that, you know, I'm not realistic and, you know, everything is black and white. I've never been a black and white person. I've always been someone who can see past.
You found your home. You found your home, Stephanie.
I'm emotional. I'm emotional.
We got a bunch of crybabies in this group.
I'm like more people like me.
Me being the lead crybaby here.
Who didn't tell me about this club? And, you know, I'm really upset, but I'm super, you know, just like Santa Corky was saying last night, we met by chance. There was no rhyme or reason to it. Right. I literally had just gotten into a place where I prayed. I've been getting a little bit more primal with my prayer, and I got down on my knees and I said, you know what? I just need one spark, just one tiny little sign. And he showed up in my life last night and validated some things for me that I only spoke to God about. And you can't tell me that God doesn't exist. I will never believe you ever, ever in my life, because specifically for me and, you know, the journey that I've taken, there's so much beauty.
Thank you for being brave and sharing. Thank you for being brave and sharing. And I'm telling you what, single moms are superheroes to me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So we got your back, Stephanie. You got a whole new family backing you.
Listen, I'm moving in, so I hope I hope you guys got some room, because I'm bringing all my stuff.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
in the garage.
Have a great weekend, Stephanie. We love you. Thank you, Corky.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie.
Mike, Jade, Jamie, Peter, and Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Linda.
thank you, everybody. Thank you, Corky, too, by the way, for inviting everybody.
Elf Michael. He's really
Thank you, Elf
Italian.
Michael.
If you get to know him, he's Italian.
I'm trying.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Vanessa. Daniel, Sarah. Love you guys.
Have a great week.